and welcome to the 29th episode of Puck Witches, a vibes-based podcast where we yap about all things hockey. Today is May 9th, 2025. I'm your host, Sate, and this is my partner in crime, Champ. Champ, how you doing?
I think I'm good. It's been a very...
sure.
We'll get into it, but it's been a very strange week.
It kind of really has, which is, you know, as always, we have a lot to discuss this episode, so let's jump right into it. Champ, we gotta talk about it.
Sate, did you see?
Uh-huh.
We have a new pope.
We do have a new pope.
His name is Pope Leo Dreisaitl. Sorry to any Catholics. I'm so sorry.
This is how I found out, by the way, chat. Champ sends me a meme of, like, Pope Leon.
I call him the ice stands. We got a pope.
We got a pope. And it's like Pope Leo, and I'm like, this is how I find out.
Yep.
Really,
Yep.
really.
Saint, it's been one heck of a week. I completely forgot that the Vegas series started this week. It feels like it's been 8 years.
It really does. Because I was looking at what we were going to talk about today, and I'm like, what do you mean the Vegas series started?
We're only 2 games into the Vegas series.
Only 2 games, and I feel like we're like the Kings. It was like it felt like it was going by kind of quick, and it was like steady though.
Yeah.
And this, I'm like, huh? What?
I think it's because for non-Oilers fans, again, super sorry that you are listening to an Oilers podcast. It's playoffs. Well, we do better when we're not in playoffs, but we're here.
We're only talking about playoff teams, and we're down to what 2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So the Vegas series started, and I mean, you and I were both kind of like, whatever happens, game 1 happens, because as we all know, our Oil boys have a tendency to flop on their ass in game 1, and like it's a pattern.
That's the King series.
Yeah. Yeah. But like it's not just the King series. It was like the Canucks series. It was the Dallas series. It's just not
Oilers
something.
They have a condition of needing to be the underdog at all times, and
they like to chase. I mean, I get it.
I understand the psychology behind it. It's just not great for my heart rate.
Yeah.
But so we went in though, we were not usually when you vibe check before a game, you're like, okay, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna lose. I think this is gonna be a tough one. You and I were just like, whatever.
Well, we had also had, and this kind of happened with the Canucks series last year too, where early May hits and you're like, ugh. And on Tuesday, you messaged me very early in the morning and said, "Fuck, I've broken my phone." And I went, uh-oh. So, can you not use it? And you couldn't use it? Is that what it was?
So,
you shattered it.
I shattered. So, what happened is I dropped it at work, and it hit the corner of something metal. And I didn't I have a case, but I didn't have a screen protector, and I usually always do. It was just one of those things that, like, I had been thinking about for weeks. I was like, man, I really gotta get a screen protector, because the
minute you have those thoughts, get it then.
Yeah. Don't be me and have ADHD and keep putting it off. And I've had the same phone for a while. I've had this phone for a couple years now. I think 3 years. But fun fact about the Samsung, I guess is there. I don't know if this is true for all phones, but the glass is integrated.
Oh, I don't think that is. I don't think that is true for all phones. I could be wrong.
It isn't, because the last time when I used to have an iPhone, I broke my iPhone, and they replaced the screen for like $25 because it was like, yep, you lift out the glass, you put it back in, or maybe it wasn't an iPhone, maybe it was my Moto G6 or whatever. But like this was going to cost me this is actually a fun story. Someone tried to scam me, and I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
So it didn't work, because I went to there's only 2 places near my work. I like immediately went after work and was like, I've got to get this fixed, because it doesn't work. It's integrated. So when it cracked, the top half of the screen had no touch response whatsoever. So I couldn't, like, you would message me and I couldn't get to you because you're at the top of my Discord. And I was like, fuck. I couldn't Google search. So that I had to so I couldn't look up where to find a place to repair my phone. But yeah, the guy was like $250, and I was like, the phone is not even worth $200. Like, it was an S9 Plus, like, be for real. And he's like, okay, for you, $200. And I was like, the phone is not worth $200, my guy. And he kept trying to like get me to do it. I'm like, no, give me my phone. Like, I'm not like, I can buy a new phone.
Yeah.
For however much, even if it's a shitty phone. This phone is old anyways.
Yeah.
The phone with the refurbished value is like $200.
Yeah.
So I could literally just go buy a new one. So I went to another place to get a second opinion to be like, is this true? Was he? And the guy looks at me, he's like, it'd be 180 because it's integrated, the cost of the raw materials is 150 and then my labor would be 30. And I told him about the other guy and he's like, no, 200 is insane. I was like, can you I was like, can you be real with me? Is the phone even worth 200? He looked at it and he was like, no, your phone is not even worth $200.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. Like, shout out to that guy. I will be writing a good review for you, even though I use your service of being a G and telling me that this is not. But yeah, so I broke my phone, which was not a great sign the day of the Oilers game.
It was very much like that was a priority for you, and I was busy because life, and so you broke your phone. We go into the game 1 of the first series, and the Oilers win. The Oilers.
We were very confused.
Dominate.
Very
confusing. It was like, what, 4 shots on goal in the last 2 periods?
Yeah.
And
from the King, from
the Knights? Yeah. And we won that one? Again.
In regulation?
In regulation? Like, I'm not used to winning game 1s. And I had gone in with such a thought of, this is going to go poorly to then win. And I was like, okay, that's not right.
Yeah. No, I truly, like it took us until because they didn't start off good, you know. I was like, oh yeah,
Oilers started off how the Oilers started off.
Yeah, this is about how I expected to go. They nap too hard in their pregame or whatever.
They're still waking up.
They're still waking up.
They're old men
in the first period. Yeah, they're old. Not all of them anymore. We fixed that a little bit, but yeah. And then they won, and then we were like, oh, okay.
And so then yesterday, I wake up. This is Thursday. I wake up.
Game day.
Game 2 day. Wake up, roll out of bed, phone hits the floor. It does that all of the time. Pull up my phone. It is shattered across the screen, and I burst out laughing because I was like, "You've got to be kidding! Like, what am I supposed to do?" Yeah. Like, so I messaged. Like, I was also messaging you when I dropped it. And
because I got the messages.
Yeah, it was a slurry of you've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. And then last night happened. We did do awful, which I don't even want. Like the boys did horrendous last night. The only reason we won that game is because of Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, truly. So apparently his save percentage, he has worse low danger chance saves. Well, no, it's low danger versus high danger. So, because the goals that he let in, there was one I was like, what the fuck? How did he let that go in? And someone posted, they're like, yeah, he has much better high danger chance saves. His high danger saves are great, which is why we were like, oh my god, Pickard great fucking job. Like he did so many good saves, but his low danger chance saves are bad.
It's like, almost like he doesn't realize that that's going to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So he lets in the soft goals. Almost in like, it was. So he lets in worse goals overall than Skinner on the low danger chances, but has better high danger chance saves. So, but yes, he is truly the only reason we were still in that game. Yeah, because Jesus Christ. Yeah,
and then we go to overtime, and you and I at that point were like, here we go.
Yeah,
this is no hope, only vibes. But even then, the vibes are kind of bad.
Yeah, I didn't think we were winning. No. I literally said it. I was like, I don't think we're winning this one. But
this is one we'll talk about. And again, the Oilers love to be the underdogs, but we'll talk about this a little bit. The Vegas fans are kind of mad at us. Well, Vegas fans. Vegas doesn't have fans.
They have like maybe 20 people who
the Vegas participants are pissed because in overtime, like maybe 2 minutes before the end of the play or the end of the game, Victor Arvidsson had a bad, like it was, I don't think it was a can opener that what Bruce Cassidy thinks it was. I think it was a bad interference push, whatever. It wasn't a trip. It wasn't. I thought he toe picked.
So here's when I saw the replay. On the ice, I see why the ref didn't call it.
Yes,
because
I agree.
It looks like he just blew an edge.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I saw the replay that I was like, oh, yeah, that should have been tripping or interference or something. Like, it was tripping. His blade or the stick went between whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't get it called. Like, it's just a fact of life.
Yeah,
that,
and
like,
that game of hockey moves so fast. This is not saying that I think there should have been a call. Like, that was a penalty. It was a penalty.
That was 100% a penalty. But was the brownie getting pushed in by a defender into a goalie on game one?
That's just Vegas, baby.
That was not interference, and they almost won the game off of that bullshit call, which I think bullshit calls are worse than missed calls.
I agree.
Because that to
missed
me
calls are just playoff hockey at that point.
Yeah, missed calls. So many calls get missed in the game that it sucks and it's frustrating and it should have been a call, but getting bad calls, like the weak calls, the bullshit calls, the ones that you're like, what? Where I've never seen Connor Brown so like, what the fuck?
Heated. Oh my gosh.
He was pissed, and rightfully so, because it literally wasn't a penalty. By definition of the rule book, that is not a penalty.
Yes.
So those kind of things are way more infuriating and way more the referees are changing the game than just not calling something.
Yeah. But it was just one of those moments where, like, you understand why they're pissed.
Because, I do.
Yeah.
I would be pissed too, but I mean, our power play wasn't doing shit, so it wouldn't have. I think Vegas fans need to understand missed calls happen.
Yeah.
And they're not used to it because they do typically. And if we want to talk about it, like, even ignoring like, put this in a vacuum. You ignore that Vegas has gotten away with a lot of shit. You ignore that the Oilers have the most puck possession and the worst penalty earned differential in the fucking playoffs, which is insane, by the way. Just in a vacuum.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that missed calls happen. They just happen. And the missed call that happened, yes, it would have led to a power play opportunity, but the missed call didn't lead to a goal.
Yes.
The whistle blew, the play stopped, reset happened. That was not you didn't call the penalty and therefore they got a goal. No, they just didn't call the penalty. It was just a missed call.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they probably could have scored on the power play.
It wasn't like he was still on the ice by the time they scored. Like, that's the argument.
Yeah, because I think that's
if he had been, that would have been, like, I wouldn't have even been cool with it.
Yeah, and I'm still not cool with the missed calls. I don't like dangerous things happening.
Yes.
But I think that it's pretty fucking rich to, like, complain about a rich call when your guy tried to murder Trent Frederick.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I've forgotten about that.
Face. Like, and like, what?
I genuinely don't think he went for, there's no intent to injure in that one.
He had a brain glitch.
Yeah.
He had a blue screen.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But after, like, Mark Stone, Heiskanen's still out, isn't he?
Yes.
Like you ended someone's season, basically. Potentially the entire season, but depending on how playoffs go. Like, this is just how hockey is now. It sucks, and I don't agree with it necessarily, especially when, like, for some reason, I don't know if you've noticed this, shit is not getting called in the East at all. Like,
oh my,
whereas in the West,
the West is actually, for playoff hockey, pretty, I want to say fair, but I say that against the East. Like, when you balance it, like, the East is atrocious. The Leafs and the Panthers right now, I swear to God, they're going to kill each other.
So originally, someone was saying, like, I've been seeing it on Twitter and things like that, of, like, the West is they called it Murderer's Row. That, like, whoever wins the East, it's typically a lot easier. We've discussed this before, but like, the West is a pretty fucking brutal conference. Yeah. And that's true. I think the Western Conference it's almost the same thing as what happened last year. Whoever goes to the Western Conference is going to be so gassed that it's going to be rough, versus the East. There's more fights in the East, which is surprising to me that I've seen. And again, they're not calling very dangerous shit. Yeah. Sam Bennett getting away with giving a guy another concussion.
That was the like, the discourse of the week is, and this is one of the reasons why. Listen here, I will be calm and demure as I say this. I think Panthers fans are just as bad as the Canucks, and I say this as somebody who very much cares about your Cousins.
Yeah. And again, I think it's the difference. We've discussed this again. Old Panther fans who
who've
know
been
hockey.
There. Yeah, and who have been there.
Versus bandwagoners who are like, our team won a cup. And
Yep.
don't get me wrong, I'm a bandwagoner too. I fucking got into hockey last year. But I'm also somebody who like goes into the history of it and like looks at, oh, hey, and I don't necessarily disagree that the Panthers, my thing with the Panthers is that they are exemplifying play that no longer fits in the NHL. And the fact that they're not getting called on it is a safety issue. Like,
yeah, it's
this was fine 20 years ago. This was fine with the Broad Street Bullies. This was fine with the Big Bad Bruins.
They are single-handedly going to bring back the enforcer. And I don't think that's a role that we need anymore.
I don't think so either.
Like, we have pests on the Oilers, right? We've got every single line has a pest.
We have a line have pests.
We got Perry, we got Podsy, we got Kane, and we've got Freddie. And I love having a nuisance on each line.
Yeah, there's a reason we love Marshy. And I don't, again, pests. The thing about pests.
Yeah. Is that Marshy's a pest.
Marshy's a pest. But like,
Sam Bennett's a murderer.
Yeah, like there's a difference between like, and don't get me wrong, we understand Marchand's history. He has leveled out a lot, but lest we forget, Brad Marchand was also one of the most penalized players in the league for a very long time. Like he got his dues in terms of like several suspensions and like, hey, my guy, basically clean up your act or they're not going to let you stay in the fucking league. Like, holy shit. And I don't defend those actions of his. I don't like players wanting to hurt each other. I think that's not hockey. I mean, it is hockey, but I think that's not a hockey play. And I think we've evolved past that level of play style. And I think especially, it's very true. We're speed based. It's speed and skill, and beating the shit out of each other is not how you win games. I
also think that it wouldn't be as bad, genuinely, if Paul Maurice could shut his big fat mouth.
Yeah, he's very quickly crossed over the line from like, haha, funny,
quippy, chirpy.
Yeah, chirpy, quippy, blah, 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 to, hey, dude, can you be serious for like 2 seconds? Yeah. Like, can you like have some accountability for you and your team, like a little bit, and then go on about whining about the shit that
they didn't call it because it's on
favor.
In front of the ref.
Like you can't have it. Again, I get it. It's the politics of it. It's the like. It's part of the game. Every team, you know, what's that meme where it's like our noble knights, they're barbarous savages, whatever. Ships. Yeah, I get it. I truly get it. But at the very core of it, I don't see Chris Knobloch making that kind of comment. God. You know what I mean?
You know, like, and it's a comparative. Let's go for a comparison. And I hate to do this. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Maybe. Of Bruce Cassidy last night bitching about the reffing. He's aiming for a call or two in tomorrow night's game, Saturday's game.
Oh, yeah, we're going to pay for this.
We're going to pay for that one.
We're going to pay for
and
this
we
one.
Understand that.
It was karma. To me, it was karmic retribution for the 5 minute that hopefully gets into a suspension. Like,
I think he'll get suspended for one. But
he needs to be suspended for one. Absolutely.
But comparatively, Paul Maurice is acting like he's on a kind of high horse. And what drives me insane is like, you can have a level of chirpy and appropriate. You know what I mean? Bruce Cassidy was chirping the ref because he was pissed that he didn't get a call.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice is like, what of it? I'm like, that isn't leadership.
It's just, it would be different if it was like even tonight, like, right. Okay. So if it's the same shit that happened with Draisaitl in the Vegas series in 2023.
Yeah.
When you're permanently maiming people, you are in any other condition would be called assault and has been. And if we're going to get into it, do we want to talk about how this happens primarily to white players where they're allowed to get away with this shit, but players like Kadri were demonized?
Yes.
For the exact same shit. And I'm not saying that hurting other players is correct, but I'm saying the lack of equitable treatment between teams and between players of different races and between like the different everything. Like you just have no consistency, and it's very clear that there are favorites. And when it's coming to, hey, you're killing people. Like I don't think that someone pointed out, and I think they're correct, and I wish I could remember who did it on Twitter. The NHL does not want to hold these players accountable, because by holding these players accountable, they admit that the damage done from these repeated concussions is their responsibility.
Yep.
They know that CTE kills people. They are under a lawsuit over the death of, I think it was Derek Bugard. This kills people, and they refuse to accept the CTE studies. They refuse to accept it. And so when Sam Bennett, hits people and gives them severe concussions
to the point where they're throwing up.
Yeah, throwing up, that's like terrifying.
That's
and
a brain bleed, isn't it?
That's all concussions are
death of brain.
Yeah, and their brain bruises.
Yeah.
Like but the severity of the concussion, and we know a lot about concussions, but not as much as we'd like to, because the brain is a very complex organ, in that like one concussion, you might be fine. A lighter hit can make that concussion worse.
Yes.
Which I believe is what happened to Sid Crosby, which we then found out it wasn't, like, he had tweaked it was his neck that was fucked up, that was leading to like false concussion syndrome, but he did have concussions to start.
Yeah.
This was clearly like the puck to the helmet.
Didn't help.
Maybe it didn't help. He may have had a slight concussion from that. And again, hey, NHL spotters, you want to get some fucking actual medical professionals up here? Because, and I don't agree that the head shake was a concussion signal, because that is disputed. Like, whoever that doctor was on Twitter was like, oh, this is that study is kind of flawed. They literally only looked at people who have concussions, and then that is a common motion from goalies and people trying to like right themselves. So he probably had a minor concussion.
Yeah.
But getting a second hit to that head, that was not
especially
a hockey hit. That was
elbow.
Intent to injure.
Yeah.
An elbow, his favorite MO of either stealth punching or elbowing. Yeah, that him throwing up, that's like, you got to go to the hospital.
And he was stretchered out. Yeah.
He was stretchered out. And for that to have no consequences, Jesus Christ.
Because of this, I actually learned about what's called the Bertuzzi-Moore incident. Have you heard of this? Yeah.
Yes.
That is one where, is like terrifying. And this is going to happen if they keep letting certain players get away with stuff, right?
Yeah. And I had hoped that incident, which is legendary, like, he was charged with assault.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally charged with assault, and he should have been.
Yes.
He
broke the dude's face, neck, and gave him a concussion. Like,
yeah, and ended his career. Like,
yeah.
Ended his career, and that's what's going to happen, is he's going to end somebody's career. And then what? Well, he doesn't have a history. He doesn't have a history because you won't hold him accountable. Yeah. And it's really hard for me on that level to be like, oh, he's a nice dude off the ice. It's the same thing with Jacob Trouba. I'm sure he's a nice dude off the ice, but on the ice, he's trying to kill people.
Yep.
Like,
Captain Elbow.
Captain Elbow. Like, it's really hard to reckon, and I try to do it to some degree, that like in their minds, in like the sports psychology half of it, what happens on the ice is not the same as what happens off of it. But I think there's like a line that you have to draw.
Yes, I agree.
In the ice of like, hey, you're hurting people intentionally. And not in like I hit him into the boards too hard. No, you're like literally you're headhunting. You're taking people out of commission.
It's the same thing with Ekblad. It's the same thing with Ekblad.
Let alone that guy was his fucking teammate. And that makes it worse, not better, Paul Maurice. Like, like that makes it worse. You know that guy personally.
You want to cup with him.
And you put him in the fucking hospital? You did what? What?
Listen, this is why my new bit right now is this is Paul Maurice's fault. Yeah. Because it is. I don't know how he did it, but everything is his fault. When I dropped my phone yesterday, it was his fucking fault. Paul Maurice, it is a miracle that we didn't get to meet you, because I'm just saying right now, we were 10 feet away from you. I'm just saying right now, the next time we meet, because when you're going to Florida next year, the next time we meet, I'm going to come at you and not fight you because I can't hit that hard. But I'm going to start asking you questions that no other reporter will, because they're cowards who are too afraid to get on your bad side. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. What are you going to do? Ruin my podcast? I'll ask the hard questions, and that includes, why the fuck are you trying to kill people? And can you drop the quippy attitude for 5 minutes?
Yeah, can you be, and again, I get it's his bit, but like...
but for serious situations, it shouldn't
Yeah, how
be...
hard would it have been to be like, this was a really unfortunate connection, instead of deflecting blame and like deflecting and being
the ref didn't see it. The ref didn't call it. He was right there. Well, shit. The refs are on your side.
Like,
you're not a Canada team, Paul Maurice. Of course they are on your side. I'm very calm. I'm very calm. This is all Paul Maurice's fault. I was having a good day.
You were so calm over here for 5 minutes.
Anyways, what else is going on in the world of hockey? The best 2 series of all time. Game 7 madness in the Central Division.
Central Division, we underestimated your game. Holy shit. I have never been so glued into someone's team. I was losing it. I was acting like it was an Oilers game.
Exactly. And you and I were tired last Saturday.
So tired. And I was like, please, Stars, I want you to win so fucking bad.
And I think you had stepped away, and I messaged you like, Miko's on Hattie watch, and you immediately called me.
You said the Stars scored. They tied
it. So we called.
And I was like, holy shit. So we called, because I had been watching it like in the off season. I wasn't really paying attention. So then I called you and I was like, holy shit, we have to watch this together.
And then Wyatt Johnson, that kid is going to go, he's going to wear the C.
He has to, right? Like, he is the Dallas Star.
He is. You are a Dallas Star.
You are the Dallas Star. Holy
and then,
shit,
and then we had, Mikko Rantanen getting the hat trick. And you would have thought...
In the third period.
With 2 seconds left. And you would have thought the Stars had won the cup.
Yeah. And deserved. Like, I was losing my shit.
That was a beautiful game. Against the Avalanche, who traded him. I mean, the narratives. You
can't write that shit.
No,
right?
You can't.
If you wrote this in a movie, they'd go, that's a little...
It's a little on the nose. Yeah.
A little on the nose. That's a little unrealistic. Nah, baby, this is real life.
Oh, it was beautiful. The narratives. And then the next day, we had the Jets and Blues. The Jets scored to tie it with 1 second left.
1.6 seconds.
And with all of the freaking... My favorite thing, I'm so sorry, Blues fans, but I'm not really because of Broberg and Hollywood. It's the videos of them being utterly distraught. The watch parties. This is, again, karmic retribution is going to come back and haunt me. However, it was kind of funny. And then you and I both went, oh, this doesn't feel right. This is going to a second overtime. And then it did. And I thought it was going to go to a third.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, are they really going to make this go to triple overtime?
Yeah.
Like, I really thought it was.
It's not unheard of, but man, it would have been exhausting. And then, of course, the captain scored it. Thought that was beautiful. And that was like Sunday night. And I remember being like, the first series of this playoff is over. Holy cow, what a season. Like,
holy shit. And I'm sorry. No, I won't apologize to Gary Bettman. You can go fuck yourself.
Okay. This is Paul Maurice's fault.
I was originally not a fan of the way that we do the seats for the playoffs.
Right.
Because as people said, they're like, man, playoff series ones are going to be really
boring,
too lopsided, or or too intense at all of the good matchups. Because in another world, the Avs would have been against the Stars for the semifinals.
Yes.
But I don't like that we get the same matchups year after year. Let the Kings get out of round one.
Not against us.
Not against us. No, they'll get it against. No. Well, that'll segue into franchise killers. But it was more just that, like, it's, to me, the only complaint I have is that I don't have enough time to watch all this.
Yeah.
They were great matchups. Everything was great. We knew that they were going to be great. We were like, God damn, these are fantastic fucking matchups. It's just that I ain't got time to watch every fucking game. So it's like, I wish that these could, so, like, you kind of have to pick and choose what ones you're going to watch, because we don't have time, especially with these weird start times.
Weird start times, and EST, why is it not on ESPN Plus?
Because
I don't care.
Cable
I don't give a fuck.
Stupid. It's so stupid.
In any case, this goes back to us, the Oilers. We're wrapping full circle, baby. The Oilers are franchise killers.
Yes, we're 3 for 3.
We've
right?
got
Is
the
it 3?
Calgary Flames. Yeah, Calgary Flames.
Sent them into a rebuild.
That they're still recovering from. That was 2022, and apparently
so.
that series was brutal. I think that was also the series where Cassian beat the shit out of Kachuk, which deserved. I could be
one of my
wrong though.
moments.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember if that was Battle of Alberta. Like
it might have been Battle of Alberta
season, or
such a beautiful, beautiful fight. I see that in my dreams. Yeah, it's not even a fight; it's just a beatdown.
That was a open can to whoop ass. Yep.
Yeah. Then we've got the Canucks,
who have imploded. Like it was one of those things where it's like you didn't need to pull down the house of cards.
Yeah.
Externally, it was close enough on its own. The Oilers just probably kind of, because they thought they were, like it was just that last. Oh, here you go. We did one little bit, which was knocking them out of the series, and then it just exploded from there.
Yep. It really was. And then I don't think that the Kings are going to go into a full rebuild, but they just did get rid of their GM.
Yeah,
which
they just fired their GM. I'm more surprising they didn't fire their coach.
That's what I was thinking, and I don't necessarily think it was. Well, yeah, I do think it was all Hiller's fault. Hiller has a very interesting. He's a very wrong coaching style.
He's wrong.
He's just wrong.
I don't think it was all his fault, but his coaching style is very wrong.
It's very wrong.
It's just wrong. Yeah, he didn't play the fourth line, and then he made a stupid bullshit challenge.
There's
nobody in their
graph.
Right mind.
I gotta find this graph.
Yeah, the graph of betting. Was it the betting one?
Yep.
That, it goes down and then back up for
it's so funny.
Crazy.
It's you can tell where Jim Hiller made the biggest mistakes of his life.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so funny because everybody was chirping about oh, haha, isn't it funny? What if this is the moment that ends the series? And then we reverse sweeped them 4-0. They won the first 2 games and then we swept them.
Yep.
It
was the worst. That was it. That was the. And I wonder. Part of me wonders if that was just the game itself was momentum killer.
Yeah. Well, I think it was one of those that it was once you let the Oilers
smell blood,
grooving, yeah, you can't. You can't give him an inch because we'll take a mile.
Yes.
And it's you can kill us emotionally. I don't want to put that out there to the coaches that are clearly listening to this podcast, but we don't typically rally well.
No.
That's why I was surprised that we won, and I was really going to be mad if we didn't because against the Frederick, because usually when a player like that gets hurt, we fall apart.
They're so falls apart. They love each other.
Yeah,
we're all friends. Friends love each other.
He was back on the ice. He was back on the bench and back on the ice, and that kind of
yeah.
Did you say Waffalo?
Yes, I did. Oh man, 2015. Call back.
Oof. No, 10 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just interesting. It's just interesting to me that we continue to be pains in everybody's asses, and this is honestly one of the reasons that I understand why people hate the Oilers. But I don't understand why the East hates the Oilers. Never understand it.
We didn't do shit to nobody.
We didn't do nothing.
It's weird.
It's you should hate the Caps. The Caps have Ovi.
The Penguins. There are Penguins fans that I think have a weird complex.
I think it's because
Connor, because they think that they don't like people dethroning Sid, and I'm he hasn't won a. No, that's his child. He literally chose him as his successor. And emotionally, he was.
I wonder if the hate is not because of people being scared to admit that Sid is getting close to retirement.
Yeah, I don't know. They really hate.
Or if the NHL built a narrative up very early. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Connor Bedard. He's the next Connor McDavid. No, he's not.
Yeah, how are you gonna like Chicago but not like the Oilers? Be for real. Trust me, it's just weird. Anyways,
it's very weird.
But
all right.
I get why some teams hate us.
Oh yeah, and some of them deserve it.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, Saint. Do we have a sponsor today?
We do have a sponsor. Today's sponsor is St. Astra, Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist. You can support her by purchasing from her Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/St. Astra. Use your free Prime sub and get access to cute emotes. St. Astra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry, decorations, and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with the perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to the St. Astra Playoff Commitment to the Bit Fund. which is getting fucking expensive, by the way. Jesus Christ. Half my paycheck went to my hockey fund because of these fucks.
I'm
because
just saying, you made the bid.
I did. I made the bid. And last night I had to cement it because you were like, wait, if they lose, do you still pay? And I think originally I said, I'll pay no matter what.
Yeah.
Not when they were going to cost me $300 for a loss. Motherfuckers, you got to earn that. So I said, I will pay it if they win.
Yes.
And if they don't win, maybe I'll do like a
pity point.
A pity point.
Pity,
or maybe it'll be, instead of dollars, it'll be pennies.
Oh, that's really funny.
You get 10
$3.03.
Yeah, $3.03. Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah,
I think that's a good. I'm all right. We've committed to the bid even harder. Great.
All right,
go buy my Etsy shit so I can pay it off. Fuck, that was so much money.
All right, let's move into the fact that we have a new named hockey team. Saint, we've got the Utah Mammoth that's so new and surprising, took everybody by shock.
Nobody absolutely
and nobody absolutely teased
why
it
are
back
we scared
in.
of plurals? What? Could you imagine if the Pittsburgh Penguins were called the Pittsburgh Penguin?
Penguin, it's just Sid Crosby.
It's just Sid Crosby and Geno Malkin sometimes. Like,
depends on the Penguin.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I really don't know why they're afraid. Like, for the Kraken, I allowed it because Kraken is
one.
I'll allow it.
It's the Yeti is one.
Yeah, the Yeti is one. Kraken is, I'll allow it. But Utah Mammoths, why were you scared of the S in that? Just let it happen.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it was one of the better names.
I agree. I'm glad that Yeti Cup, you still failed. I think that it's I agree. I like it. I like it better than what was it? There were some
Outlaws, the fucking generic ass name.
Yeah, I think
which for the Stars. So if Houston,
Outlaws would be great.
Houston Outlaws.
We're back to Overwatch League, which that might be. I wonder if that's going to be copyright. Houston Outlaw. How about that? Houston Outlaw.
Houston Outlaw.
Yep.
I don't steal. No. Houston Outlaws. Yeah. Fucking. Why are they
National
scared of
Predator.
The Oiler.
The Oiler. That's
like,
wrong.
You know how everyone else has an S at the end of the name is because you're a team.
The Ranger.
Sport, okay.
The Hurricane.
Yeah, like it's so dumb. Why couldn't they just add the S to it?
Oh.
Anyways. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna interrupt you, champ.
Oh.
We did not talk about last week. Because 2 weeks ago I said we're not going to talk about the Vancouver PWHL expansion because I'm going to wait for them to announce Seattle, and it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. And then they announced Seattle.
That was assumption one.
We knew it was going to be Seattle. Once they announced Vancouver, because we said there's no way
not that far out.
Yeah, they're gonna have because everywhere else is in the East. So I was like, we discussed like they have to have 2 West Coasters.
I am curious as to why the PWHL is allergic to like vibrant colors.
Yeah, they've all gone for the jewel tones. I don't know. Is that so? The colors that they released, the creamy. So Vancouver is like cream and navy.
Yeah, and then Seattle is like this beautiful teal, and I think silver.
With cream.
No, I think it's silver. I could be wrong. I didn't pay that much attention to the Seattle one, which is very funny because Seattle is actually hiring for a social media manager. But it's just, it was one of those moments where it makes me wonder why they're not doing it. And I wonder if it's because they don't want to get confused with another hockey color.
Sure. Like, it's one of those things that we went over the tier list. I like the cream. The New York Sirens, their colors are
horrendous.
I like the teal and the navy and I would have liked black instead of the navy. But I discovered the reason that those are their colors is because all of the other women's leagues, like the WNBA and stuff like that, like their women. So you know how Pittsburgh is gold and black?
Yes.
That is what
New York's is
sports. New York's
okay.
Teams do.
I'll allow it.
That immediately made me like it more. Is that it's a unified.
I do have a complaint from a small listener out there. Blake is pissed that sirens is based off of the sound and not the animal or the mythological
Don't worry,
being.
like we were livid too.
We were livid.
I liked it at first, but now I'm mad because we can't have the Seattle Sirens.
I want the Seattle. That would have been such good alliteration.
That's what I wanted. The Boston Sirens, if we were, because originally we were thinking they were going to go with a nautical theme,
which they did
with the fleet, which they did. But I was like, the Boston Sirens, like it plays into like the mythology of like. But
you got
Seattle
the Kraken.
Sirens,
Seattle Sirens sounds so
Sirens,
good.
and
you ruined it.
I like it. I like it for New York. I just
not that siren. I want the other siren.
Now that we have Seattle, I don't. Also, the playoffs are right now for the PWHL.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
Walter Cup.
They had the Walter. They had no like break.
No,
like they had regular seasons, and then it was like, okay, we're in, and I'm like, huh? Like
yeah. Back to the Mammoth singular. I do think that the logo is very cool. I do find it very well. I like the mountain into the. It looks like they would have done Yeti,
but
though.
It's just very corporate.
Well, they're all corporate. Well,
I know.
The new expansions are very corporate. Like the older ones, I like that they have that like classic. Yes. Well, like they also have the classic. Like I'm looking at the Predators logo right now, and they have that classic like high school sports team.
Yeah.
There's like line variation.
That's, you know what? I think that may be it, is that it's the outline or like the line art for it is just very thick.
It's also just, that's very corporate. Like as a graphic design, that's just something that people do nowadays.
Yeah. It's definitely it's definitely a mix between like, the Predators logo and who did they say? It was the Predators and
the Wild.
The Wild. Yeah.
I did just send you one that I think would have been better. Small, little old country team from the desert. I don't know if you've heard of it, from the Coyotes. I love this color. I love this. I think, I mean, I understand why they didn't do it.
The biggest downgrade. No, the biggest downgrade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do think it's funny that they're talking about doing Ice Age creatures as an Ice Age fight. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, it's Battle of Ice Age or something.
And then we'll get the sloths with Atlanta, because Atlanta will move.
Matthew Nyes scored 23 seconds in.
They're up 2?
They're up 2? Oh my god, my poor cousins, they're there.
What is going on with the Leafs? I mean, sure. You heard, somebody said that.
You heard their goalie and the tragic wife montage?
Yeah.
Sent me into orbit.
Berube showed them a tragic wife dying montage.
Finally, I need TikTok to make edits of the tragic wife montage. You know how they usually do like the what do they usually do? They do like a sad. They make like ocean waves.
Yeah, and she's like waking up in the dawn, her hair.
Yeah. Which I can't even remember the movie that's based off of, but there was a single movie that started that entire trend,
funny.
By the way. Who scored? Yeah, it's Tavares scored.
The amulet.
The amulet. Yeah, it was Matthew Nyes with Marner and McCabe at 23 seconds in. And then Tavares with Pacioretty and Nylander at 5:57.
Interesting. Okay.
Crazy.
Oh, and Rick Tichet is on TNT tonight. Interesting. Somebody rub his head. Yeah. So I'm still not happy about the Mammoth being in Utah. But I am happier that it's the Mammoth than Utah Hockey Club.
Jesus Christ, that never. No, I hate everything about that.
I think it'd be really funny if we just started calling them the Mams.
Yeah,
the Mams are playing tonight. That sounds so wrong.
God. I don't like their jerseys as much as they look very, as someone pointed out, beer league. Like they need some. They're missing like some kind of pizzazz. Like they need like.
It's Utah. They don't have much out there.
That's true. That's true. They can't drink coffee. So, I mean, I guess my hope is that, which unfortunately, by the way, that throwback jersey would never happen because the franchise is dead. Like it's dead in the water until someone buys it. So my hope is that we get Houston and the Coyotes. back. Like I hope Arizona, like someone in Arizona buys it and gives us hockey in the desert again, and then we get the Arizona Coyotes from their original, and then we get the Houston Outlaws. I want a Battle of Texas so bad. All
right,
Cham, do we want to talk about how we're the Puck Witches is no longer
it's not a joke anymore. It was a very funny joke for about, say, how many months have we been doing this? 28 episodes.
28 weeks of this, yeah.
28 weeks.
Longer than that. A couple weeks off. Yeah. Since, what is it? October?
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So why don't you go ahead and give a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on with you?
So
we mentioned it last week.
We did. We went over the basics. We've talked about it, but now it's time for like the now that it's the end of the series,
you've been gifted by Apollo.
I've been gifted by Apollo, which is to say, you know how I joke about I'm an apostle of the hockey gods?
Yes.
And
you're an oracle.
They really did do it though. Like it's no longer a joke, because I have had now 3 dreams that have happened that have become real. One was Corey Perry. He was in my dream and then scored the opening goal.
Yeah, that one was funny. That was the one you mentioned last week.
Made me lose my shit. Because guys, I don't know if you know this, but I work in the mornings, and being a fan of a West Coast team is pain.
What?
So I'm miserable. Shout out to Europeans and Australians.
I don't know how y'all do it.
You're God's strongest soldiers, getting up at 5:30 in the morning for a fucking hockey game. I take a nap, and I dreamed during this nap that the Oilers scored, and then immediately after the Kings scored.
Yes.
And I was like, God, I hope that doesn't happen, because I hope it doesn't mean we lose.
But you also said in that conversation, because you tell me about these before we start our calls.
Yeah.
You said, I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, because in my dream, I was like, I wasn't mad about it. Like, it wasn't that they won the game.
Yes.
It was just that they stole our joy.
Yeah. And they do that.
And then they did it.
Yeah, that game.
Like, the Oilers scored, and then the Kings scored like 5 seconds after or whatever. It was, like, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the one that was not Oilers related was the which again I talked about on the podcast, that I dreamed of an enamel pin for the Jets that was like kind of scuffed and dirty, falling into the center of a floor.
Yeah.
With nobody else and nothing else around it. And I was like, does this mean that they're breaking the President's Trophy curse? Now, some people argue that the President's Trophy curse is that they don't win the cup. I'm like, no, the President's Trophy curse is a first round exit.
Okay.
They broke the President's Trophy curse.
They did.
Because they were not the first round exit, which is also why I was so fucking feral about that series.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean that was real? So now we're 3 for 3. I didn't take a nap yesterday for the hockey game.
Yeah.
Because I was off.
And you've determined also that, you think you've determined that it's dreams.
Allegedly.
It's dreams that are the night before or
the pregame game.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's not like, other than the Jets one, which because they're not Oilers, I don't count it as like that was my prophecy.
That was your premonition.
Yeah, so I don't know I haven't had any for the Knights games.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it was just a Kings thing. Maybe it was like a no gods, no kings, no.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like just, yeah. So I've become Nostradamus, and you become
a demon, a witch curse.
The Etsy witch curse.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong. However, I do think that I have cursed the Canucks. My hatred is so powerful for the Canucks. I'm so sorry to any Canucks. No, I'm not. I don't care. I hate them so much, and I think my vibrant hatred towards them is radiating through the universe, because everything that has happened this season is way more that should happen to one hockey team. Let's see what happened. The Twitter hack. I forgot about that. Yeah. Where you and I logged on to watch our movie for our friend group movie, and both of us saw that the Canucks were kind of trending on Twitter, And both of
like,
us
what
at the same
happened?
time went, what the fuck happened to the Canucks? And we look. And there's an Elon Musk buy Bitcoin hack, donate to the Canucks and you'll win, blah, 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 blah. And I just remember feeling such joy. Somebody said that they should have figured out what was going on with the Elias Pettersson and JT Miller drama in the DMs, or somebody should have said they should have posted a Quinn Hughes has been traded to New Jersey.
Yeah, like someone said I would do that because they did.
They
Whoever
posted a
hacked
graphic.
they did it, but it was a reply.
Yes.
It was a reply about Quinn Hughes.
Noted.
And I was like, that's so. But they should have done it as a May post.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. Like,
I also saw that people were like joking that they needed to change their password account. I mean, it was a bad hack. Do not get me wrong. As somebody.
Also, we didn't really realize it was a hack just because they posted those Bitcoin links, because it wasn't really a shock per se.
Not at all. Not from the Canucks.
For hockey posted.
Oh, true.
There's teams that like it's just
that would make sense.
No surprise.
And they're kind of broke, so
yeah. Why are they selling used player shoes? Is that real?
I think
was
it
I
is.
Punked?
I don't know. They are definitely
That
selling
can't be real.
sweatshirts. They're definitely selling.
They
sweatshirts.
were selling sweatshirts. They were selling socks, and I sent it to you. That like
they won't build
this picture of they need to afford a practice arena. It literally said it has to be real, because it's either that or it's like some other. They're doing it as a bit, like someone at some other store. But I sent it to you on Twitter, and it literally says Canucks team store player worn shoes $50, and it's in like a tote, like a blue tote.
It's
so
funny.
Apparently the Florida Panthers do it as well. Like,
that's creepy. That's legitimately disgusting.
I don't,
Men, you're
apparently,
not, listen.
Okay, I'm gonna ruin it. Apparently, some people do it, or some people think it's a decent idea because you can get actual equipment that would normally cost a lot more.
I don't care.
It's still gross.
It's
also,
so
I'm sorry,
gross.
my parents were dancers. You do not do used shoes in
No.
sports of any kind. What are you doing? Like, are they going to put it on a shelf? I don't understand. Like,
I don't. That's parasocial to me. I think that's dumb. It's like that. There was a sports team. I don't remember if it was a dream or if it was a theoretical, but that were selling like. It was something like ridiculous. And it may have just been the socks. I think the socks have thrown me off that I forgot that it's the Canucks. That's so bad. Like, that's so bad.
like, I just...
And like, obviously the locker room drama. Rick Tichet's gone. They just had a shit year. Again, the Oilers are franchise killers. And this is all my fault. So, I mean, I'll take it.
It really goes to show that, like,
hater energy is powerful.
Your hater energy is so, like, your hater energy is like, you will destroy them. Like, I personally was like, I'll like just annoy the shit. Like, I'm a problem on purpose all the time.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Yes.
It just constantly. And there's people that I will be more of a problem with than others. You're like, no, I've focused all of my energy into ruining everything you love.
Correct.
Like,
I'm gonna be good. I've already gone on my rant today. I didn't get called on a penalty, but I'm just saying.
People were talking shit about the Oilers from the Canucks, and someone said, "How's your playoff series going?"
There was people who are upset because Podkolzin, who is kicking ass this.
He's such a good baby.
He's such a good baby, and I have loved him. I have loved him since October.
Can't vouch. She fell in love with that baby.
Immediately.
She was like, that's my new son.
Yep. And people from the Canucks fandom, because again, my fucking Twitter thinks I'm a Canucks fan.
Yeah, I keep getting Vancouver news, and it doesn't help that I like BB No Money, Baby No Money, and so they think he's like, they think because I like him, that because he's Vancouver based, that I live in Vancouver, and I'm like, nope,
I don't want
not at
that.
all.
But it's people. My Twitter feed is just like of Canucks fans who are watching the Oilers because there's no, that's the hockey game that's on, being like, I can't believe we traded Podkolzin for a fourth round. Why did we do that? Or Podkolzin wasn't even that good. Why are they cheering so loudly on the Oilers sides? And I'm like, buds, you're not in the playoffs. You got kicked out very early. I do not want to hear it. And yeah, so I mean, I'm very lovable to those who deserve it. And obviously, the Canucks and the Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights and the Panthers do not deserve it. That's my 4, I think. That's my 4.
It's your 4.
I don't even hate the Flames that much, and that's saying something.
It's just because they're not as relevant.
That's because they suck.
Right now. I, on the opposite end, was like, oh, this is really cemented that I do. Because when we first got into hockey, it was like, all right, let's do one per conference. And then, unfortunately, we fell in love with the Boston Bruins. And I was like, but we can do one per division. And my central division is the Stars. It goes like Penguins, Oilers, Bruins, Stars.
Yes.
And right now, I like the Stars more than the Bruins because
the Bruins are kind of in your shit list.
They piss me off.
Don fucking Sweeney. That's also one of the things where we have always said that we are fans of players more than we are fans of teams. I would be distraught if my favorite players left the Oilers. Like, obviously, this season they traded half of them away.
I think we have
There's
like
core.
Our 2 teams, the Penguins and the Oilers.
Devastated.
Those are our teams. The Stars and the Bruins are more like, I love the players on that team, and therefore, if they traded everyone, I would be
distraught. I still love Sway. Yeah. I love Boston as a city, and I loved Boston as a...
Yeah, I still want to go to another game.
Yeah.
And like,
but I don't think I would be as upset to lose in Boston without Marshy in the lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it just becomes more like... It's sort of like how when we go to California, we're going to go to the Sharks.
Yeah.
Like, it'll suck if they lose, but we're just there to have a good time.
Like, all right. Let's move into sportsmanlike conduct, Saint.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Last week we got your pins. There's no more pins on this. All right.
That's wild. Actually insane.
It'd be interesting if we got Utah. Oh my God. I swear to God. What the fuck?
Holy shit, champ. You had Cassandra. Holy shit.
Oh, well.
It'd be interesting if we had Utah and it just skipped right over Oilers.
It's like that. It's like that moment last night's game where I said, I'm not even having a good time watching. I'm not really paying attention. And then Wallman immediately scored. The Utah Hockey Club. Interesting. You know what? Actually, you know what? It's not Utah Hockey Club. The Mams.
Mammoths. Yeah, that's right. You had it still as Utah, but it's
the Mams. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I don't hate your logo as much as Saint does.
I don't hate it that much. You
know what else?
It could be better.
There's also that one really neat seat in Utah where you're like over the goal.
Yeah, that one is cool. Apparently they're redoing the arena to be better. Like, they're not gonna have. I know. Well, they're gonna have because there's ones where you can't see half of the.
Yes, that's right. Like, I remember that.
They're getting rid of all the seats. Are gonna have actual views now.
There's also Oh God.
I like that they are clearly the owner, who I don't know fuck about the owner, but the articles that I have seen and the like headlines that I've seen, they are invested in making this work.
Yes,
this is not just they didn't
want. It's not like the Wild to the Stars to back to the Wild.
Yeah, it's they want this to be a thing and for Utah to stay, and I'm hoping it does well.
Yeah, I don't hate expansion teams.
No, I just losing
the Coyotes. Yeah, that
losing
sucked.
the Coyotes was hurt. I'm also really glad that they made them a proper expansion team as opposed to stealing the Yotes / Jets records. I think that should be common practice going forward. I think teams should get to retire with the teams should just get to end. Where they were.
You know what's interesting is and this is something that I just remembered. I also really like that they keep their prices really low. Mm-hmm. Like that should be a standard.
The food pricing, right? Because they realize that they can get people in.
Yeah. If you want to grow hockey now, do not change that, Utah. You're getting a point. Don't change it next season when you've got a fan base. I don't know. I think Utah has the chance to grow. They weren't the first out. They have a good team. I mean, it's the Coyotes, but it's just one of those things where I think that they could be a really strong contender once again for the West.
Yeah, I think especially if because they're Central Division, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I want to see them do well, especially because the roster is old
Coyotes.
So yeah. I do like that they did the black and icy blue and white. I wish they would tweak
spruce it up a
little bit.
Yeah.
I just the striping on the
less beer
jack
leaky.
It could be a little bit different.
I mean, aren't those also like concepts? Like, we don't have the actual jersey yet.
Yeah, we don't have the actual jersey. You know what would be cool? Fuck, take this idea and give me a jersey. You know how that, like, the Kings have that silver glitter?
Ooh, yeah.
And Vegas, your gold glitter fucking sucks. It just doesn't look like gold.
Yeah.
On camera. But the Knights, that
silver's great.
Glitter, do that with the ice blue.
Oh, I was thinking
to make
white.
It look like. No, the ice blue, because then it's like ice. It's like the icy part.
I like that.
That's clearly what they were going, is the Ice Age.
Yeah.
That icy blue, and then like a black furred mammoth. If that, I think would actually be really, really sick.
I agree.
Hope they do that.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Folks, we really appreciate you listening through all of our rants and ramblings. The Puck Witches podcast is released on Spotify and our YouTube channels, and you can join the Night Witches Discord via the link below to talk about the episodes directly, or as well as enjoy our other channels. It's full of gaming, hobbies, and good vibes.
Sometimes we record these episodes live on Twitch, so just make sure you're following us there. And if you want to support us with a Twitch Prime on either or both of our channels, you get access to cute emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky for updates.
And lastly, don't forget to support the St. Astro Stanley Cup Final Fund by checking out Saint's Etsy or subscribing on Twitch. We love you all and hope the hockey postseason is treating you well. Champ and Saint, signing off.
Stay witchy.